All right, welcome to a increasingly more rare after work video. I'd like to continue doing these, but the last few days I haven't been, but the good news is I'm doing one right now. Kind of had some extra motivation to do it because I'm going to be finishing another topic. So that would be 2 topics finished in one day, which is really good. So in the last video, we looked at RSVP signaling for an MPLS LSP. We had some issues with it coming up, but in this video, we're going to switch it over to be LDP signaled instead of RSVP. So we'll do a before and after snapshot of some of the show commands for MPLS LSPs and see how they differ depending on the signaling protocol that was used. Can't tell which one this, I can't tell what the file path is for this. I'll just open it again. There we go. All right, so maybe it would, well, that's annoying that it won't tell me the file path anywhere. Oh well, so yep, all of these tags I think are going to be fine. We'll stick to the IPv6 tunneling just to give it a little bit more kind of extra oomph. We've already got it set up, so it's not going to add any more difficulty. It's just going to kind of have the results be a little bit more interesting. Okay, so let's take a before and after of each of the LERs. Label endpoint router, I believe is what that stands for. Okay, so we're good to go pretty much. Yep, so let's get those commands. Oh, so it looks like we've got a similar issue where it's down and we've got a routing loop detected. So I'm not sure how that resolved last time. That's interesting because it was definitely up before, so I'm not sure what happened there. But I think the way I fixed it last time is I did a configure private, and then I did a delete, and then a set system root authentication, commit. Now, of course, this is something you could not do if you were doing in-band management, but I am doing out-of-band management. If you did it with in-band management, you would lose access. Okay, so commit and quit. So hopefully this was the problem. Bad source address. But the other one has a good source address. Okay, so there's just a lot more. Oh, well, I'm looking at both of them. There we go. But even so, there's a lot more. But I mean, it's interesting stuff. And this is not going to change, of course, because this one is up, so there's no sense in looking at it continuously. Okay. So this is this is what's going to be important here. Okay, so let's put that here and see how it compares with what is showing up here. Okay, so it went into up. So let's see what happened that made it go up. So it used to be down, but then it went to state up. Here we go. So here it's in state down. We've got a bad source address is the most recent message. So we still have that bad source address. And it looks like it hasn't done anything yet. It's just sitting there not doing anything else. So here it did something new. It did another originate call. So it gets an originate call, then it gets a bad source address. So it tries again, gets a bad source address. So it looks like this all happened instantaneously. But then a few seconds later, or sorry, a few minutes later, yeah, because I think hours, minutes, seconds, subseconds. So yeah, about this is about 30 seconds later. It looks like it tries again. So still waiting on that. Takes more than 1 second. So now, and I think I had it cut off. Well, you know what? I think it keeps that record. So I can just print it out again and I'll get the full, yeah. So I get the record because this is a history of what happened. So it's not like I need to look through those refresh commands because I see it all here. So yeah, I did a extra originate call, then it enqueued a self ping, then it started a self ping, and now it went into up. So I'm not sure if it goes back to down. I guess I wish I would have ran that configuration before I stopped it, because in fact, did I? Let's see if I did. I might have. I did. Okay. But I didn't run the whole thing. Or like, yeah, maybe I got cut off there. Like, I'm not sure. Because I should see it all the way from the beginning of time, I think. Like, I'm just wondering, like, why it goes down. Like, does it go back down or does it just never go up? That's something I'm not sure of. I'm not sure what this P star is either. Okay, well, it has it here. So, but that's okay. It's just, okay, got it. Cool. So it's got, if it's an ingress, it's got different headers than if it's an egress. So the important thing to be aware of is the name of the LSP so you don't get confused. So this P star here, which is R1 to R2, over here it doesn't have the P star because it's got different information because it's coming in as an egress LSP, so it's being sent. Oh yeah. And I remember, like, these are so strange. Like, it should be. Oh, right. Okay. What? Yeah. See, so these are so strange because, like, egress from the perspective of what? Because I would think if this is router 6 and the LSP is to router 6, I would think from the standpoint of router 6, this would be an ingress LSP because it's been being sent to router 6. So it's an LSP that's coming into router 6. So really strange naming. It'd be nice if I could resolve that confusion because I actually did have a similar confusion for export and import statements that I totally understand now is from the perspective of the routing table. So if you want to modify a metric, something like that, for routes coming into your table, you would use an import policy. But if you wanted to take some kind of route, such as a connected route or a route from a IGP, and then send that out another routing protocol, such as a BGP route, or even just redistribute it from, like, OSPF to ISIS or something, you would use an export policy. And I used to have a lot of confusion about that because I would think of it going into the protocol, but there's no, but that's not how it works at all. It's into or out of the routing table. So you export things out of the routing table, or you take actions before they are put into the routing table that determine how they appear in the routing table. So import is how they appear in your routing table. Export is what happens in other routing tables. Very clear, understand it, but I was very confused about that. Initially, I was thinking about it all wrong, and I appear to be having a similar issue here because I don't understand these terms, ingress and egress, and at first glance, they appear to be backwards to me. So let's do a help search for it. Right. So this I do know that depending on its role. So okay, well, let me read this. So operation to perform on labeled packets. For egress routers, remove the packets label altogether, pop. So this is egress, so they're going to pop it. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, I guess it makes sense if you think of it as this is egress from here sent to here. Okay, so that makes sense. Yes, it's egress from this, whereas this is ingress to this. So ingress from, egress to, or sorry, ingress to, egress from. So it makes sense thinking of it that way. And I know that because this is egress from, it's going to be arriving here, which is the router 6, as the last thing it does. So it's going to have a popping action on that label. And this is ingress to router 1. So from the perspective of 1, it's going to be ingress. So here, this is going to be sending it out. This is egress. This is going to be a pushing action. All right, well, I'm not exactly sure what's going on. The scope of this video, let's narrow it down to what the category is. So basically, we're just going to be configuring LDP instead of RSVP. So that shouldn't be too hard. I think I'm kind of overcomplicating things, which I really have less and less and less time. So it's really not going to be a good thing to do. So it should be as easy as just doing delete protocols RSVP and then set protocols LDP interface all on all of the routers. And of course, you could also tunnel LDP over RSVP. We did that in a previous video, but in this video, we're not going to be doing that. We're going to be seeing what happens when it's just straight up LDP. So we'll see if this backlog looks different on one. I forgot to take before commands, but that one I think will be a good enough of a before command. And of course, I can always roll back my configuration. Okay, so we're going to need to do this to all of the routers. Oops, I've looked at my phone. Oh man, my yeah, my focus has been really not the best lately. I mean, I guess I can't really blame myself with all this stuff going on and my life being so different than it used to be. I've never worked at home before for an extended period of time. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, so far it's going really good, but it's like things are a lot different now. It's like before I would have to like, you know, get up and get out the door and like do all this stuff, but now I literally can just wake up and walk over and start to do work. So it's like I haven't really, well, all my like rhythms and circadian rhythms and stuff are all like now different. So sometimes it's hard to know what I need to do. And it's easy to, I mean, it's not hard to know what I need to do. It's just hard to know when I need to do what I need to do. All right, so let's see here. So, oh, okay. So yeah, that's it. So let's look at those MPLS extensive commands on router 1 and router 6. And hopefully it's up. What are externally controlled and externally provisioned LSPs? Oh, it looks like it's in state down. So RSVP is disabled. So I wonder if there's something about my LSP that is forcing it to use RSVP. Nope. So the LSVP has nothing to do with RSVP. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to rename this other one because it's just confusing to have it named RSVP path when it's using LDP. So I'm going to rename this LSP here. Now, this is just a name for the LSP. It does not determine whether it's RSVP or LDP. So that's another reason why it's so confusing to have that name, because it's misleading and it gives the false impression that that part of the config may determine what kind of signaling protocol is used. But it's just a name. It would be just as sweet by any other name. Especially the name R6 to R1, because that is a much better name. So it is in fact sweeter with that name. Okay, let's see if this will come up now. Nope, it won't. Not only that, there's not even detecting the other one. Okay. I don't understand why this works like this. Okay. All right, so I wonder if because it's LDP now and not RSVP, this is different now. Like the requirement for this is different. So I think the next step will be to try removing that from both sides. Now this is interesting because it says it won't work because RSVP is disabled. So I wonder if once the LSP is built on top of a signaling protocol, you can't just change, you can't just pull the signaling protocol up from underneath it and have it automatically detect the other one and go in. It's like if you have, what's a good analogy to use? But it's like if you have two things stacked on top of another, you can't just pull it out and then put the other one in and be good, because if you pull it out, you know, the thing on top will fall down and break. So I think that's what's happening is I'm saying I don't want RSVP anymore. I want LDP, and I've got my LSP, my MPLS label switch path here, and then my signaling protocol here. And I say, okay, well, I don't want RSVP, take it away. Boom. So now my LSP falls down and dies. And now I come with LDP. I'm like, can you go back up? But no, it's completely dead. There's really nothing I can do for it except to delete it and recreate it. I believe that is what is happening. We will see though. Okay. All right, so yeah, so now let's look at that again. Oh, and it's still down, but maybe there's a different reason now. Okay, so now it looks like it's down for reasons it was down for before. And it looks like it's the ingress that is down. I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen the egress at all, but I don't think I removed, oh no, I actually did remove and re-add this already because I changed the name. So I'm surprised there's nothing on this side. And that's because there's a bad source, same thing that was happening over here. So I wonder if I didn't get the conversion to LDP on all of them. Let's take a look at the LDP neighbors on each of these and make sure I made those conversions properly. So it looks like already on this side, I've only got a neighbor to the rudder on top here. So I might have missed the configuration on rudder 4. Let's take a look. So it looks like I didn't miss it, but for some reason I don't have a neighbor. Yeah, I've only got one. In fact, not only don't I have a neighbor back to R6, I don't have a neighbor to these devices as well. Okay, so let's see here. Now, I wonder if it's the similar thing. Now, I can't do MPLS LSP because I don't have that, but I wonder if it's a similar thing where I can't pull out the signaling protocol while leaving MPLS. Like I have to change it, and then I have to disable and re-enable MPLS, or else MPLS still believes the signaling protocol to be RSVP. I wonder if there's a way to check that. Okay, I do see RSVP here, but it's next to LDP, so I think those are just reference text. Yeah, I don't have any LSPs configured on here. It's just going to be transit traffic. Okay, so this is what I was curious about. I was wondering if MPLS would, I think if it were the case here that MPLS could not function without being restarted, you would see this table blank. Yeah, so this was successfully configured. I'm pretty sure they all were. I mean, I went and I did it. There's no, it wasn't hard. Okay, so maybe it just needed some time. Nope, it's still bad source ADDR address. So let's do Juniper MPLS LSP. I don't know how MPLS LSP is an OS system basic. Okay, that's clearly, I think these are like the tags or something, I don't know. Ah, here we go. So this is what, this is for ICMP. Okay, here we go. So this is probably what I need here. If we can get something for troubleshooting. Yeah, this looks like a really good thing. I kind of wish I had done this in the RSVP section. I had like read this documentation. Oops, it looks like there's stuff here that isn't in the main page. I hate it when it's organized this way. Let's see if there's anything about source address. All right, so we're good to go. Just need oh my God. I don't understand why. I don't understand why it's alternating between originate call and bad source address. Now, last time I fixed that by just deleting all the config and re-adding it. So, I mean, I guess I can try that. But I mean, I wish I instead understood what was going on. One thing I might want to try is to go edit protocols MPLS and do set trace options, flag, and let's just do all, and then set trace options file, MPLS T-shoot. There we go. And now we can do monitor start, MPLS T-shoot, and take a look at, now it should, something should come up when it alternates between those two. So it looks like that happens every 30 seconds or so. So I'm expecting to see something come up when it alternates. Aha, perfect. So we saw that. So that's good to know. I'm kind of a little bit upset that I'm not getting more info than that. Let's see if there are more options for trace options. So I could also, instead of just putting it under MPLS, I could add trace options to LDP. So why don't I do that as well? Oops. So now we've got a bunch of extra stuff. Now remember, I only enabled it to write to the file. I did not look at the file at all. So this is still output from the MPLS trace options file. We're not looking at this file yet. But it looks like we've got some good plain English explanations of some of the stuff that's going on. So we can see that the MPLS config has not changed. So doing selective cleanup, start parsing MPLS configuration. MPLS config has not changed, hence reading config selectively. CCC config has not changed. MPLS and CC, so it looks like it's rereading the MPLS config. So I might be correct that it needs to be deleted and re-added because it looks like it reads the config again. So I think it is still trying to use RSVP instead of LDP, and it will continue to do so until it is reread. Yeah, until it is changed, because since the config has not changed, it's only going to read it selectively. So my theory is that it will, in reading it selectively, assume that it's still using RSVP. Okay, so let's test that theory by going into the candidate configuration. Okay, and then we'll delete all of the MPLS configuration. We'll probably get a ton of chatter for that. So before I commit, I'll just grab it so I can put it back easy. Okay, so we've still got some logging going, but it might stop now that I have deleted, but yeah, so let's add it back. Yep, and now before I commit, I'll put this in a Notepad++ because I'm pretty interested in what's in here. I don't want to lose it. Okay, but now we've got the MPLS, yeah, recreated. Okay, so this is the before. So now here's the after. So let's save this. But it looks like we've got the same things going on. Oops, and it did not save. There we go. Okay. Okay, so when we disabled it, we got all these messages. So MPLS is not configured anymore. So we're deleting a bunch of stuff. Deleting the LSP. Okay, so yep, nothing here looks too interesting. It's just deleting all of the stuff. I don't see any mention of RSVP. I'll search for that specifically. Aha, so I did find something. So this is interesting. It's starting an MPLS reconfig job for RSVP. I wonder if we'll see something for LDP in the other one. So I'm going to bookmark this line, and then I'll search for LDP as well, just because I'm curious. Nope, there's nothing for LDP. So we do have a mention of RSVP, but not a mention of LDP. Let's see if after I re-enabled it, there's still a mention of RSVP. There is. See, I would have expected this reconfig job to now have LDP instead of RSVP since I changed it over, but clearly that's not the case. Let's see if LDP is, nope. Okay. Oh, and I'm already at a hour mark pretty much. Wow, okay. I am very confused. Okay, well, let's look at the show LDP neighbors. Okay, so this is what's really confusing me. So we've got two neighbors here, but if we go over to router 6, we've only got one neighbor. So I think I'm going to T-shoot why a neighbor isn't forming. Okay, so hopefully we'll get more than one LDP neighbor now. does not seem to be happening. Oh, it looks like we're missing an IP. Yeah, we've got an address here. Yeah, but we're missing an IP on that. So let's see here. Showings description. Yeah, so we've got it configured to router 3 and router 6, but we're missing it to router 2. Yeah. Okay, so let's go on router 2 and make sure that link is configured. Okay, so it's going to be .5.2/30. Oh, and it's also going to be to router 2. Perfect. And then 5.2. Perfect. And yep, this as well. There we go. So I'm not sure if that will cause another LDP neighbor to form, but it was a missing config. Ah, it does. Okay, so, but of course that leaves the question, why can't it form a neighborship over interface GE001? Okay, so I'm guessing the reason is because the IP addressing isn't correct. Either it's using .1 on both sides, or it just falls off outside of the subnet. But we will see. Aha! So I found it. It's using the wrong IP addressing. All right, so let's try to find. Okay, yeah, so that's what I thought. This is meant to be, this isn't the correct one on this side. It's correct on this side, but not on this side. So let's go and change it. Oops, and all these configure private. It's kind of no reason to do that since I'm just in my own home lab, but it's a good habit. Okay, so we're going to do .2 here, and then I believe it's .6, I'm not sure. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, now hopefully we'll have two different LDP neighbors. Perfect, two different LDP neighbors. Now we're going to need 3 over here. We got 3. So that's 6 and 4. So let's see if 5 and 2 are good to go. You should have 3 neighbors on 5. Yep, we've got 3 on 5, so we should have 3 on 2 as well. Okay. And 3 on 3. All right, and then of course we've got 2 on 1 because we have 3 on 3 on both of these, but I kind of like the extra peace of mind to just check. So yeah, let's see if it's good to go now. Nope, so it's still got this originate call problem. Let's do monitors start on the, because you can monitor 2 different as well, 2 different files. Okay, yeah, this looks pretty good. Let's do a monitor stop all. Okay, and then we'll just look at the LDP information. Okay, yeah, this looks really good. Okay, so I'm gonna grab all this. I'm gonna try to grab it all. Is there really this much? Do I skip? I keep skipping back down to the bottom. So I would have to stop my. I'll do that. Okay. So now I will grab it all. Yeah, I think I'm going to be doing a lot of this on the test, but that's not a bad thing. I mean, I think it'd be worse if you were trying to do this test without using trace options and help apropos and stuff. I think, honestly, I think a lot of people who take this test don't think to do that. So I think that will, if lots of people fail on their first attempt, I might be one of the ones who don't, because I might be doing some things that are unique. Okay, so let's keep that running, and then just look through the stuff from before. Okay, so we've got. All right. I'm going to try, first I'm going to do is show MPLS LSP again. Nope. And now I'm going to try deleting and re-adding this. Oh, and you know what? I think it might be that you can't use CS PF with RSVP, but you have to use it with LDP. So I'm gonna try the delete and re-adding, and then afterwards I'm gonna try removing no CSPF. Okay, so that didn't work, so let's try the second thing. Okay, that didn't work, but I think there's value in deleting the LSP and re-adding it. Either that or there's absolutely no value in doing that, which seems more likely. Oh my God, why is this not coming up? Oh man, I'm really confused. I'm completely stumped in every way. I'm just completely outside my comfort zone right now and up against the wall. The good news is I will be making homemade brownies tomorrow, so I have that to look forward to. So today can be a total nightmare, and that will be okay because tomorrow is going to be pretty good. Oh my God. And they're going to be healthy brownies too. God damn it. Okay. Oh man. Yeah. They ask you when you create these videos on YouTube if you want them to be for a young audience, and I always say no because the swears are going to come out if I get frustrated enough. They haven't yet. Damn it, if you consider that a swear, but I just haven't gotten that completely frustrated and stumped. But I'm getting there now, especially since it's been particularly hot outside recently. Let's see here. So, okay, so I removed no CSPF. But that didn't seem to make a difference. Let's add it back in. Still nothing. And I have no idea why. Well, I don't want to go into a second video, and I've been skipping these after work videos, so there's no reason I can't just keep going on this. Maybe even have, I mean, I used to have like 3-4 hour videos sometimes. So I'm just going to keep going until I can get to this LSP to come up using LDP as the signaling protocol instead of RSVP. Let's do another help apropos command. Oh, you know what? I think I might need this. Let me try that. Um, well, shoot. Let's see here. So, I mean, this is just a shot in the dark. I don't even know why it would work if it had worked. Clearly, it didn't work. You can see the from isn't filled in. Let's see if anything changed. Nope, it's still getting bad source. Let's try deleting and re-adding it. Oops. Yeah, I don't think deleting it and re-adding it would work. Is a good troubleshooting step. Okay, or at least not in this case. So let's look some more. Yeah, I'm not sure what explicit null even does. Okay, so what explicit null does is without explicit null, you can get packets on your MPLS network that don't have a label. But explicit null means that the label is required, I think. Oh my God, I have no idea. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of that explicit null because it didn't fix the issue. I'm tempted to try it under MPLS. I might as well. Okay, and I can just try it on the one side because LSPs are unidirectional, so. Okay. Commit and quit. Oh, right. Oh man, my brain just completely went elsewhere. It's just, you know what? I should probably take like a 5-minute break and come back, because otherwise that's going to happen again, and I'm just going to get completely lost. I think if I take like a 5-minute break and come back, I can kind of focus more. I know pretty much what I need to do. I need to read up a little bit. I need to do some more help apropos commands. But if I can't keep that focus clear mindset, it's just going to end up taking longer in the end. So I'm gonna take a break. I'll be back in 5 minutes or so, and hopefully continue with this.